Hello and welcome to Valuechain News. I am Naomi Oleribe. First, the headlines. Barkindo calls for stable global energy markets. Cooking gas. Nigeria needs $750 million for 5 million metric ton annual consumption. Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline attracts OPEC orders. And now, the news in detail. The DOC's Joint Technical Committee held its 62nd meeting to review oil market developments ahead of the 40th JMMC meeting and the 28th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting scheduled for tomorrow, 5th May. OPEC Secretary General, His Excellency Sanusi Barkindo, commended the DOC countries for continually adapting to the challenges they have encountered during the pandemic and the conflict in Ukraine, many of which remain evident today. He noted that OPEC and its DOC partners have no control over the factors causing market volatility as a result of geopolitical developments. However, what can be done is to continue collaborating through the DOC mechanism to bolster market stability. It is vital we have stable energy markets for producers and consumers. We urge global leaders to continue to support the type of multilateralism exhibited in the DOC to ensure an unhindered, stable and secure flow of energy to the whole world, the OPEC boss stated. To underscore the importance of teamwork and appreciating different perspectives, Mr. Barkindo quoted Jalal ad-Din Rumi as saying, "Be a light, a lifeboat or a ladder. Help someone recover their soul. Walk out of your house like a shepherd." Nigeria requires about $750 million investment in the transportation and retailing infrastructure for liquefied petroleum gas, popularly called cooking gas, to achieve the target of 5 million metric tons of annual consumption. Operators in the LPG space have reviewed. This was disclosed at the second annual virtual LPG workshop organized by the African Refiners and Distributors Association, which was attended by experts in the oil and gas sector. In his presentation at the workshop, the executive director, Rain Oil Limited, Emmanuel Omojine, stated that investments will be needed in gas adoption and utilization. He said that the barriers to LPG growth in Nigeria include suboptimal infrastructure, poor roads for transportation, significant gas processing infrastructure deficits, and obsolete pipelines. Omojine decried the lack of investment incentives, import bottlenecks, multiple agency interface for projects and importation, and also frowned at the challenges with the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, stressing that there was need for the full deregulation of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, as well as the implementation of the gas policy. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and Russia are some of the international interests showing willingness to buy into the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline project, the federal government has said. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, who dropped the hint after paying Salah homage on President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, however, noted that the project will not be completed before the expiration of the administration. He said the government is shopping for funding partners to extend the West African gas pipeline project from Ghana to Morocco and connect it to the European market. Providing an update on the project, Silva said the Nigerian-Morocco gas pipeline is a continuation of the West African gas pipeline project, which has already gotten to Ghana. It is already operational, connecting Nigeria to Benin Republic, Togo, and Ghana. We want to continue that same pipeline all the way to Morocco, down the coast. Right now, we are at the level of studies, and of course, we are at the level of securing the funding for this project, and a lot of people are indicating interest. The Russians were with me in the office last week. They were very desirous to invest in this project, and there are lots of other people who are also desirous to invest in the project, because this is a pipeline that is going to take our gas all through a lot of countries in Africa, and also all the way tomorrow, the edge of the African continent, where we can have access to the European market. When completed, the over 7,000-kilometer long gas pipeline will link Nigeria with Morocco across 11 West African countries and extend to Europe. It will be the longest offshore pipeline in the world and the second longest pipeline overall, Silva added. Fuel prices have hit new highs in Tanzania as tensions in Eastern Europe continue to hurt the global oil market. According to the latest cap prices for May for petroleum products announced late Tuesday by the Energy and Water Utilities Regulatory Authority (EWURA), petrol will be sold at 3,148 Tanzanian shillings and diesel at 3,258 Tanzanian shillings per liter at the pump in Dar es Salaam. The new prices effective from Wednesday, the 4th of May, represents an increase of 9.5% for petrol and 17.1% for diesel, following hikes of 12 and 21% respectively in April. According to EWURA, prices of each petroleum product throughout the country will be computed based on the cost of the products received through the ports and the transport costs to the respective regions, the agency said. EWRA explained that about 93% of the latest price changes were attributable to rising world oil market prices and about 4% to premiums. The European Union has announced further steps in broadening the sweeping sanctions against Russia on Wednesday by proposing a gradual ban on Russian oil, excluding Russia's biggest bank from the international network and banning 3 state-owned Russian broadcasters. The proposal was announced by the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at the European Parliament plenary session in Strasbourg. Ambassadors from the 27 European Union countries will meet to assess her plan, and it will need unanimous approval before going into effect. We will make sure that we phase out Russian oil in an orderly fashion, the EU chief told a session of the European Parliament in Strasbourg. Von der Leyen said the EU would ask that the member states agree to deny Sberbank, Russia's biggest bank, access to SWIFT, the global banking communications system. livestock program being implemented in selected states across the country under the National Livestock Transformation Plan (NLTP) is to deliver an investment return of not less than 2 trillion naira to the Nigerian economy, the federal government has said. It said about 9% of the Nigerian economy, valued at approximately 2.9 trillion naira, was made up of the livestock sector, adding that the NLTP had been planned to deliver adequate returns to investors. A total of 119 ranches are to be created under the NLTP within a 10-year period beginning from 2019, while pilot ranches in grazing reserves are being developed in 7 pilot states including Adamawa, Benue, Kaduna, Nasarawa, Plateau, Taraba, and Zamfara. Explaining the economic rationale for NLTP in the program strategy document obtained by our correspondent from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in Abuja, the federal government has said that part of the strategy was to develop a blueprint for sustainable development of ranching in Nigeria. Before we end the news, here's a recap of our headlines. Bakindo calls for stable global energy markets. Cooking gas, Nigeria needs $750 million for 5 million metric tons annual consumption. Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline attracts OPEC orders. And that's the news. I am Naomi Oleribe. Good evening.